Welcome to another edition of Gonagain. Today, Linda and I got the Harley out for a ride down through the canyon between Great Falls and Helena. Beautiful, beautiful drive along I-15. But we want to take you to some special places. One of those is Tower Rock, where Lewis and Clark used it as a point to get up on and kind of see where they were. Take some readings.
He was the one that named it Tower Rock.
That's right. We're going to take you there. Linda will tell you a little bit about that. And we're also going to go to the grave of Stagecoach Mary. And we're going to tell you all about her because she was my hero. And a real character.
Yeah.
We're going to tell you about her too. And you know, this may be the last ride that we get to do this season. I think there might be a couple of days this week and then it's going to
start... Keep your fingers crossed.
It's going to start getting chilly. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video.
As Lewis states, we pursued our route through a high rolling plain to a rapid immediately at the foot of the mountain where the Missouri first enters them. The current of the Missouri below these rapids is strong for several miles, though just above there is scarcely any current. The river very narrow and deep, about 70 yards wide, and seems to be closely hemmed in by the mountains on both sides, the bottoms only a few yards in width. An Indian road enters the mountain at the same place with the river on the starboard side and continues along its border under the steep cliffs. These mountains appear to be only 800 feet above the river and are formed almost entirely of a hard black granite. At this place there is a large rock of 400 feet high which stands immediately in the gap which the Missouri makes on its passage from the mountains. It is insulated from the neighboring mountains by a handsome little plain which surrounds it on three sides, and the Missouri washes its base on the other, leaving it on the lard as it descends. This rock I call the Tower. It may be ascended with some difficulty nearly to its summit, and from it there is a most pleasing view of the country we are now about to leave. From it I saw this evening immense herds of buffalo in the plains below. By the end of the day, Lewis had to confront a more mundane and personal issue. The mosquitoes had grown extremely troublesome. Moreover, perhaps still racked with disappointment over the recent failure of his experimental iron frame boat, and distracted by the excitement of reaching the first chain of the Rockies, he had forgotten to bring his beer. He was utterly exasperated. He says, "I promised in my wrath that I will never be guilty of a similar piece of negligence while on this voyage." He goes on to say, "The Indians have informed us that we should shortly leave the buffalo country after passing the falls. This I much regret, for I know when we leave the buffalo that we shall sometimes be under the necessity of fasting occasionally. You see, the plains held an abundance of food from the vast herds of buffalo, deer, and elk, along with roots and berries from a variety of edible plants. They couldn't carry a large supply of this food with them, so they had to depend on what could be found by the hunters as they traveled. It was fine on the plains, but once past the tower and into the mountains, it was just the opposite. The time in the Rockies was very basic subsistence. They ate what little came available with never enough to satisfy their hunger."
What'd you get at the store? Is that full of food?
Yeah. Hope it's good stuff.
Now, what did you get us?
Oh, let's see what we got. This is something new for us. We got some blueberries.
Those aren't new for us.
Oh, I mean this style.
Oh.
Got some, what do you call this? Dry salami. And, oh, my favorite part is the olive feta artisan bread.
Yeah, that is really good.
I love that stuff. And some cheese, because we're cheesy people.
What kind?
It's the Dubliner, natural cheddar,
Good.
good stuff.
What's in that bag?
And some Cheeto type stuff. Anyway,
What else in there?
and we got some milk for coffee,
Okay.
because we're gonna have coffee.
What's that knife you got there, Linda?
Oh, I love this knife. This is it's a Civivi baby banter, and it's one-hand operation.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's so sharp. It's good steel. A chunk for you. A chunk for me.
Well, how's your coffee?
Oh, so good.
Well, we've been searching all through the graveyard here near Cascade, Montana, looking for Mary Fields, also known as Stagecoach Mary. And we finally found her over here. Right here. 1832 to 1914. Linda's going to tell you about her. Now, you folks that have been with our channel for quite some time remember that we used to own some property with a lot of springs on it and everything. Well, the old stagecoach road went right through our property, so we used to think about Mary and what it must have been like back in her day, driving that stagecoach. But she did a lot of other things too.
Stagecoach Mary, or Black Mary as she was nicknamed, carried a rifle and a revolver. She met trains with mail, then drove her stagecoach over rocky, rough roads and through snow and inclement weather. And though she intimidated would-be thieves with her height and her tough demeanor, she became beloved by locals who praised her generosity and her kindness to children. For 8 years, Fields protected and delivered the mail. Eventually, age caught up to her and she retired. The community rallied to support her, despite occasional dust-ups with neighbors. Local restaurateurs gave her free meals. Saloon regulars chatted with her until bars became forbidden to women due to a town ordinance. When she died on December 5th, 1914, her funeral was one of the largest a town had ever seen.
Well, that's quite the reputation.
Yes.
Yeah, I also heard that for a while she ran a little cafe or a little
A little restaurant in Cascade, this town right here.
Yeah.
But they said she wasn't very successful because she wasn't a very good cook, and also she would just give food away if you couldn't afford to pay for your meal.
Right.
And based on those 2 points, her restaurant was not successful. And
she was too generous.
yes. And she loved the children. She delivered mail to the St. Peter's Mission, which is over the hill through some really rough roads in a four-wheel drive vehicle, never mind a stagecoach. But she delivered the mail, and the kids there remember her as always delivering the mail no matter what the weather is. And she would always bring goodies to the kids. Like one fellow who was an orphan and grew up there, but he said that when he was a little boy, one Christmas she was late and the children were very worried, but she showed up a little late. She had to, the snow had made it so she couldn't bring her stagecoach through, so she loaded up the mail and walked her way through the snow to the mission, and also had a bag of peanuts for all the kids. And that's what he remembered.
That's quite the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stagecoach Mary. Hey, we hope you guys enjoyed a little history and a beautiful bike ride. Thanks for coming along with us today.
Yeah, it was nice having you guys along.
As usual, we'll see you around.